I never thought my own family would be the reason I lost everything. But sometimes, betrayal doesn't come from strangers, it comes from the people sitting across the room, smiling like nothing's wrong. My name is Florence, and this is the story of how my brother-in-law wiped out my entire life savings, and how karma came for him faster than he ever expected. I grew up in Portland. Simple home. Hardworking parents. They taught me one thing. Earn what you take. Respect what you earn. My younger sister Allison was different. Carefree. Impulsive. Always chasing excitement instead of responsibility. When our parents died suddenly in a car accident, we were shattered. Their estate gave us each a small inheritance. I invested mine into the boutique I always dreamed of. Allison invested hers into Kyle, the man who would eventually destroy her life. Kyle was charming on the surface and rotten underneath. Controlling. Manipulative. The kind of man who smiled too wide and talked too fast. Within months, they married, and within a year Allison wasn't herself anymore. Then came the lakehouse reunion. Uncle Robert called it a fresh start for the family, and I wanted to believe him. At first it felt normal, laughter, food, sunlight on the lake. But the moment I walked into my guest room and saw my laptop moved, screen warm, browser history wiped, a chill ran through me. Something was wrong. That night, I tried paying a boutique bill. Payment declined. I didn't panic. Not yet. But the next morning, when my manager called saying all my payments bounced, I opened my banking app, and my entire life savings were gone. 5 years of work. $0. Just empty. When I told my family, the room froze. Everyone looked shocked. Except 2 people. Allison, eyes down, shaking. And Kyle leaning back, smirking, almost proud. When I asked him if he'd touched my laptop, he didn't even pretend to be offended. He just shrugged and said the words I'll never forget. We needed it more than you. The arrogance in his voice didn't break me. It woke me. I reached for my bag. Kyle stepped forward, telling me I wasn't calling anyone. Uncle Robert blocked him. The first crack in Kyle's confidence appeared. Because what he didn't know was this. Months earlier, after a hacking scare at my boutique, I installed a silent security program on my laptop, one that photographed anyone who tried to access my files. Every keystroke, every login attempt, every face. And Kyle had been staring right into the camera. I made the call.
Calm. Steady. Police.
I want to report ongoing financial fraud. Kyle laughed, until the front door burst open and officers stormed inside. Detective Harmon held a folder, the evidence from my laptop. Photo after photo of Kyle transferring my money. When she told him to turn around and put his hands behind his back, Kyle tried one last time to drag Allison out with him. But she pulled her arm away and whispered the truth. I'm tired of lying for you. That was the moment Kyle truly panicked. Not when the police arrived. Not when he was handcuffed. But when the woman he controlled for years finally chose herself. They took him away screaming empty threats, and for the first time, the lakehouse felt calm again. Detective Harmon promised the money would be recovered, and she kept her word. Most of it returned. The rest covered by fraud protection. Allison moved out, filed for divorce, and stayed with me. She apologized over and over, but I told her what I knew in my bones. Living with someone like Kyle isn't weakness. Surviving him is strength. Weeks later, the family returned to the lakehouse, not for a reunion, but for healing. We painted,
Cleaned,
opened windows, let light back into a place that had been dark for too long. A month later, I stood inside my second boutique, sunlight pouring in, money restored, life back on track. For the first time in years, everything felt steady. Looking back, here's the truth I learned. Blood doesn't give someone the right to hurt you. Boundaries do. And sometimes, family isn't who you're born with. It's who stands by you when the world cracks open. If this story hit home, share your experience in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more real stories like this.